All right, hey everybody, Pete Blank, and welcome to this month's webinar about setting tactical goals. This webinar is being live recorded, so you can watch it at a later date. Thanks to everybody who's joined in today, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is share my screen and get us started with talking about this whole concept of tactical goals. So let's go ahead and see. If you've never used Zoom before, you can probably move my picture around. You can minimize me. You can grab on my screen and move it wherever it's best for you. So we're going to talk about tactical goal setting. We're coming into December. We're rolling along. January is going to start. What can you do to make sure January is the best, both from a personal and professional perspective? So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. Now, the challenge is that the PowerPoint is frozen, so let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to stop sharing the screen. Hold on. Let's share it again and try this one more time. There we go. All right, super. So here's our logistics for today. Again, like I mentioned, this is the final pilot program we're doing. Then we're going to try and do them monthly next year. Right now, you're watching through a program called Zoom Meeting. Now, Zoom Meeting is good, but it doesn't allow for any interactivity. So what we're going to do next year is upgrade to Zoom Webinar. And that's going to allow us to do some polling where you can answer questions, you can chat a lot more, we can put quizzes up there, we can have a lot more dialogue and interaction. This is more of a meeting access as opposed to an actual webinar. So we're hoping to upgrade that next year. We're excited about that. We've decided to keep our webinars no more than 30 minutes. We've tried them in the morning, we've tried them after lunch. Most people have given us different types of feedback on what they like and what they don't like. But what I've heard most is don't make them an hour. Don't make them an hour. A lot of webinars you see are 1 hour, so we're going to stick to the 30 minutes during a lunch period, maybe a morning break, in, out, and get you going. If you're a local government employee here in the Merit system, we are recording this and we'll save them all on the Merit Matters webpage, so you can always go back and view them at any time. And I would like for y'all today to send me feedback. What'd you like? What didn't you like? How's the audio? How's the video? How's the sign-on? Technical stuff is what we want to know about. Content, of course, as well, but really about the technicality, how the system works. Okay. Many of us have heard of SMART goals. I am not going to be talking about SMART goals today in this session. I do want to make you aware of what they are, but it's not the main focus. So as you look ahead to 2019, if you were to make a SMART goal, S-M-A-R-T, let's go over real quick what that means, just so you have a good background. A specific goal, the S, means it's got to be specific. You can't say something like, I'm going to lose weight in 2019. I'm going to, you need to make a specific goal. I want to lose 15 pounds. It's got to be very specific. I want to exercise more. That's not specific. I want to join the Planet Fitness gym. That's a specific goal. So again, when you're making goals, make sure they're specific. Measurable. Can you measure it? All right. If you say, I want to lose weight, and you lose 3 pounds, yes, that's measurable, but I mean, can you really get in there and say, this is what I'm wanting to accomplish? So can I go back at the end of the year and say, I've hit my measurements? So for example, if I said I wanted to roll out 3 new training programs, that's measurable because I said 3 training programs is specific and I can go back and see that. So can you measure it? Is it attainable? Is it attainable? I want to run a marathon this year. I want to open up a new police precinct. I want to hire 12 new people to my staff. Those are great goals, but they're not attainable. You know they're not attainable, so of course they would not fit into the SMART model. Is it relevant? Is the goal you're going for relevant? I always go back to the American Idol examples where someone says, I'm going to be on American Idol. I'm going to go sing. Well, number one, is that relevant? Because can you actually do it? Can you accomplish that? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go travel around the world. That's my goal for next year. I'm going to finally go walk across Budapest. Well, I mean, is that relevant? I mean, it's very specific. You can measure it. It may not even be attainable, and it's not relevant to what you're trying to accomplish. So, be aware of that. And then time-based, again, kind of time goes into all of these. Can you accomplish them within the time there? So, like I said, a lot of you know about SMART goals, you understand them, but I don't want to go deep into them. I've created a new model for you today called the BAM. Bam! Say it, Brian. The BAM model. The BAM model, all right? So this is more tactical. This is not getting into the nitty gritty. This is for those of you who sit back and say, I don't even know where to start. I have no idea what I even want to do next year or tomorrow. So we're going to do the BAM model, which is basically brainstorming everything you might want to accomplish, stopping and analyzing it, looking at everything you've written down, and then going back and modifying it before December 31st so you've got a good goal to go. So the SMART model falls into all of this, and we're not going to teach the SMART model today. We're just going to talk about brainstorming, analyzing, and modifying. BAM! One more time, Brian. Bam, 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 double bam. Here we go. All right, so brainstorm. Brainstorming your goals is just putting everything out there. Walt Disney once said, and he talks a lot about curiosity and his ideas. He says, I've got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of them. I haven't worked them out. I haven't proved them out, but I carry the ideas around in my head for a long time. You all have ideas of things you want to accomplish. You know what you want to do. It's been back in your head for a long time. We just got to get it out onto paper. So there's two types of goals that you want to brainstorm. First of all is personal. We've talked about a couple of these so far. Again, these aren't SMART goals. These are just, get healthy is not a very good SMART goal, but that's a personal side. I just want to really get better, get healthy this year. I want to save more money. These are about, your family, your friends. I want to work on my spiritual life. Those are personal goals. Okay. You can also have the whole professional goals type, and that's what a lot of us are doing in the workplace today is the professional goals. I really want to work on getting promoted. I want to work on passing a test this year. I want to move up in the organization. I want to go to more training classes. I want to complete a personnel board certificate program. I want to, just get more learning, go to a couple conferences professionally. That could work. Now, some of you are going to have departmental goals. I don't know if you can hear that. They're hammering above my head, so I apologize if you can hear that. There's departmental goals that you want to achieve. So this may be coming from your CEO, from your boss, from your appointing authority, from deputy director. There's certain goals we have to accomplish here in the workplace. So it's okay. Like, how do I even get started? I've got so much going. I've got personal goals. I've got professional goals. I've got so much happening. Step one is just get a template. All right, these are free. They just go to Google and put goal setting template. You can see on the left here, you've got a SMART goal setting worksheet. That's about a SMART goal. On the right, you can see more of an Excel spreadsheet, and you can make this yourself if you want to. What's the goal type? What do you want to accomplish? What are the steps that go with it? Is it a SMART goal or is it not a SMART goal? So just get something rather than, you can't use the sticky note system. Okay, we don't just make a sticky note system. We have to have a template. So here's one that I'm doing this year, as a matter of fact. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is the goal, number 4 there, is not a SMART goal. Because those who can't do, teach. It's not a SMART goal. It says marketing of PBJC training. If I wanted to make it a SMART goal, which I should, I'll go back and say something like this. Implement 4 new marketing strategies this year that will improve our attendance in our courses by 15%. All right, so I want to implement 4 marketing ideas, and then so that's specific, that's actionable, that's measured, and I can measure it by saying I want to actually improve numbers by 15%. So you can see here, I've got it listed as idea and overview. The actual goal is the marketing. Okay, that's the goal. All these things you see listed are tasks associated with the goal. So sometimes people create goals and say, I've got a goal this year to start doing a monthly PBJC training newsletter. That's not a goal. That's a task that's associated under a larger goal. All right, so to go back to the previous one, on this sheet on the right, it says goal, and then it says steps to that goal. You can see on mine, it says idea, and then the overview is the bullet points. But whatever it is, write down some things. For example, look down to enhance our 3 current marketing flyers. We got 3 flyers. Here's the things that tie into that. Social media, I want to post on Facebook every day. Again, this is not perfect, but it just allows me to get a few things out there. Literally vomit out every single idea you have. That's the beauty of the brainstorm. Write everything down. That's the first. That's how you goal set. For those of you who are the creative type and are like, I'm not a good executor, I don't actually finish my goals, but I love to think about goals, this is your favorite part. Just brainstorm every single thing you possibly can, and then go ahead and write them down on the sheet wherever you can. All right, so here's your brainstorm summary. This is the B, B in the BAM. Are you going to work on personal goals, professional goals, or both? You can do both. Get a template and just start writing stuff down. Okay. Oh, Pete, is this a SMART goal? Can I accomplish this? I'm not sure. Don't worry about it. If you think it's cool, if you want to run a marathon, write that down. If you want to get promoted, write that down. If you want to get married, write that down. If you want to get a dog, write that down. If you want to hire new people, write it down. Put it all in there. Brainstorm all the ideas. Now, just for fun, I did go back and look through some of my old goals. This is from, I think, 2010 maybe. And I went ahead and, this is before I did this well, I just made a list. I found this on an old jump drive of professional goals and personal goals. And so you can see on my professional goals, everything in red is things that I accomplished. So I wanted to create a side speaking business. I wanted to give a presentation at a national conference. I wanted to write and publish a book. And then all the things in black I didn't get accomplished. Now, not all these things got done in the same year. Some of them took, you kind of roll your goals over. But look at the right. I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar. I've always wanted to be a private pilot. I tell my wife I always wanted to be a soccer referee. I've always wanted to, soccer's my favorite sport. I've always wanted to sign up, and I thought that'd be a good goal, was go be a high school soccer, referee. And it didn't roll over. It didn't get there. Other priorities changed. But at the time, you just write stuff down. You write stuff down and you think about your goals. Okay. The A stands for analyze. Now that you've got everything down, you got to stop and say, okay, what is actually feasible for me to do this year? What is actionable for me to do? Walt once said, when you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do. So you can look at your goals and go, I got a lot of cool stuff on here. But you've got to analyze and decide what is the best thing for you to do. So step one is look at your calendar. Look ahead to 2019. Check it out from a personal perspective. All right. What kind of vacations you got? Oh, I've got 5 months of vacation saved up this year. I'm planning on using it all, or I don't have any vacation. Do you have kids that are going away to college? Do you have people who are graduating? Do you have an aging grandparent who you may, or a parent, you may have to, have them move in with you or move them to a home? Are there family issues that that are going to happen in 2019? Are there financial things that are coming up? Because you may have all these great ideas, but then you stand back and look and you're like, oh my gosh, look what's going to be happening, in the entire year. I've got 2 kids going to college. I've got, I've just found out that my wife was pregnant, a new baby on the way. This all plays into how much you can set up for your goals. Same thing on the professional side. Is there an organizational initiative that's happening in your agency or in your jurisdiction? Have you heard about a new human resource computer system that's going to be rolled out next year? Have you heard someone say, hey, this is our #1 priority in the city this year. Everything else will have to take a back seat. You need to be aware of that. What's being rolled out? What's happening in your organization? Or you have people retiring and the word on the street is you're not going to backfill that position. Oh, we've got a few retirements, but I'm not sure if there's funding to backfill. That's good. And you have all these great goals that you want to accomplish, but you really have to take a look at how much time and effort you can put into all of these. So the brainstorming part is fun, but this is where you actually analyze. And what I would recommend is find a trusted advisor or 2. I go to my supervisor, Jeff. We sit down every year and I show him my brainstorm list of like 25 goals. And we go through there and he says, I'm not sure if you want to go down this path this year. Can this really be accomplished? Tell me why you want to do this. And don't surround yourself with people who think like you. So when you get a trusted advisor, don't go to your best friend who is also a creator and go, because they'll say, I think you can do all that stuff. Oh yeah, you can do it. You're the best. Don't get involved into group things. So get with your supervisor, get a spouse, get a mentor. I know some impact people are on here. Get with some of your impact participants who are in your cohort. Hey, here's my goals for this year. I want to run these by you. What do you think about this? So really find a trusted advisor or 2. Then you got to rank them. So you sit down with that person, and I just use a high, medium, low, try to force myself in there. And again, I also use the plus and minus system. As a sidebar, whenever I order a steak, I normally go medium well as opposed to medium. And then someone introduced me one time and said, you know, you can do medium plus. And I said, what's medium plus? And mostly only the fine steakhouses do this. I'm not sure if you go to Applebee's and ask for medium plus, they're gonna know what you're talking about. But if you go medium plus, that's like not medium and not medium well, but medium plus, you know, right? I didn't know that. So that was like my newest thing, was a little more than medium, but not quite medium well. Anyhow, you can rank your goals as, you know, plus and minus as well to kind of give you a little more room. And one more thing, you can also put in there a column that says easy or hard. Easy or hard. There's something to be said about the whole low-hanging fruit. It may be a low goal for you, but it could be easy. So you're like, this isn't important that I do it, but I can finish it in 3 hours and accomplish a goal. There's something to be said about that, as opposed to a goal that is very hard, you know, and has high priority. You know, you definitely have to do the high ones with a high priority, but you can look and see how many are easy, how many are hard. I want you to work on. So just kind of rank them with whatever type you want. You can look here. This is our sheet. I went ahead and gave you the next columns. After I went ahead and talked with my supervisor, Jeff, on this whole marketing concept, you know, he has his ideas. You can see we had an idea at the top for a monthly newsletter. We decided that was low. When you look at all the other things, that may not be the best way for us to communicate. But look down, and Tari, I know you're watching this. Look where it says, the fourth one down, enhance our 3 current marketing flyers. And I signed that to Taria. That's a high plus. Doesn't get no higher than that, Taria. So Jeff has actually said, we have got to finalize the course catalog with the competencies, the marketing. That's going to be a great marketing tool when we can list every class and every competency and what they achieve and what they got. That's a huge win. So, you know, we go through and we look at high, medium, low, and I kind of listen to what my supervisor says, and we have good dialogue. But at the end of the day, remember, they're your goals. They're your goals. So after that dialogue, let it simmer for a while. Don't rush it out to your team right away and go, here we are, we're done, I had my discussion. Let it sit 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe a long weekend, because maybe some of these things are just flavors of the month. You read an article about this goal, or someone said you should do this, and you haven't done all the thinking that kind of comes with it. So like this polar bear here, you just need to chill. Just get yourself back, relax for a few minutes, check out your calendars, talk about them with your advisor, rank them, and then let it simmer. Let it simmer for 24, 48 hours, maybe a long weekend before you go ahead and address it. Because then you come to the last step in BAM. Brian? BAM. Modify. Modify your goals. Okay, you've taken some time off. You've thought about it. You've got feedback. You're in there. Now let's get in and look at our goals again. Walt once said, Disneyland is like a piece of clay. There's something I don't like. I'm not stuck with it. Can always reshape it. I can revamp it. He loved to redo the theme parks and add new things. That's the beauty of goals. They can always be changed and modified. So now you go back and you re-rank. Now you go back. Whoa, we've removed. All right. Now you go back and you actually re-rank. And you go back and you, sorry about that. I had error messages popping up, but I got them fixed. Look at them and re-rank them and decide, okay, this is a high plus. Now I think it's a high minus. I had some talk. I got some feedback. I did all this stuff. Kind of make sure I know what I'm trying to accomplish there. This is good for me to know. By me clicking on that, I have frozen my screen. There, we're back. Okay, then eliminate. Eliminate your lows. Unless they're easy. If they're easy and they're low, maybe you can knock a few of them out, but you can't do everything on that brainstormed list. You really can't. And if you leave it on there, it's going to visually make you think that you're not accomplishing anything. So you really only want to keep your goals on your master list of ones that you want to accomplish. So I'll keep all 28 goals on here. I'll just do the highs, the mediums, the lows. Well, then you start looking at the lows when the highs seem too hard and you start moving. Don't do that. Only eliminate the ones. In fact, create a sheet that says 2020 goals. Cut and paste all the ones you eliminated if you're afraid like that. Move them over to 2020 and only have the ones you really want to focus on left on that sheet. Then when you're done, you got to share it. You have to verbally tell somebody, whether it's going back to your supervisor, if you've got direct reports, maybe you've got a team and say, these are the goals that I think I want to personally accomplish this year. This is what I think our team should accomplish this year. But what normally happens during goal setting is we do all the work, we type them all done, and then we stick them on a bulletin board or we put them in our desk and we throw something down there. If you verbally share them and say, here's what, there's like a sort of commitment to that. Hey, I want to share with you, Brian, what I want to work on this year. So the next time I see Brian, he can actually go, hey, how's that pilot's license coming along? How's that soccer referee thing coming along? And I'll go, man, I haven't even started on that. And he'll be like, well, I want to, and that might be the motivation to get back into it. So sharing your goals is important. So here's your modify actions. Go back and re-rank your items, get rid of your lows, and then share it. And then share it with your team. So again, that's the BAM model, Brian.
Bam!
BAM. It's just that simple. Brainstorm all of your goals, analyze them, go over them with your supervisor, trusted person. When you're done with that, modify and go ahead and share them with people so they know. And again, that's basically all you have to do. It's not hard. People that don't do this, though, aren't successful. They just, I never really set goals for the year. You've got to do something, again, as a successful leader. So if you can implement the SMART goals into them, that's going to be very helpful. I'm by no way dismissing SMART goals. SMART goals are the best way to do goals, but don't get all caught up in that if you're just trying to brainstorm. Go ahead and get everything you can out there. So this was interactive. I would go ahead and have a Q&A session at this time, but I will real quick pull up the chat and just see if anybody typed anything in the chat. And most of the chat things just say hi. So that's great news. Hi to you all as well. All right, so we're done with this webinar. I hope it helped you out a little bit. I do want to remind you that you can give feedback to us by email me at pete.blank@pbjcal.org if you want to go ahead and email me. Let me stop sharing my screen here for a second so I can bring up the final slide. Oh, big screen there. All right, hang on 1 second. Let me pull this back up for us. All right. Can you see that now? I think I'm sharing. Am I sharing my screen? It may just be my face still. Hold on 1 second. And we are going to, hey, there's Vanessa. All right, share one more time. There we go. All right, so we are sharing this. So here's our final reminders. Sorry about that. This is why we pilot these. This technology stuff will eventually get figured out. Let me know about the audio and video. Let me know if the ease of login. Let me know future ideas and topics. Michael and Kim and I will have ideas of what we think will be good, but if you have an idea, we'll be happy to address it. Preferred days and times. If you like the 12 o'clock straight up lunch, let us know. And this is something new we're trying today. Most of the time we've sat at our computers in the office and we had the headset on and we're at our desk. We're trying this in the think tank with the Spark behind us. It gives me a little more chance to kind of be animated. I'm not sure how the audio is with the echoing in here, so feel free to share that with us as well. And like I said, in the future, lots and lots and lots of webinars coming, and they'll be recorded to hopefully help you on your leadership journey. So that is tactical goal setting for 2019. I really hope that you've enjoyed this session. Thank you for taking time with me. Love all you Merit System employees. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Send me your feedback. Thanks a lot.